Muhammad Mokaev was supposed to take on Raul Rosas Jr. in the main event of the ADXC grappling event on Friday in Abu Dhabi, but that fight has been cancelled. I have a lot of respect towards Raul Rosas Jr. Unfortunately, the UFC didn't let him compete. I wish you all the best, bro. Some speculate the UFC didn't want to risk Raul Rosas Jr. losing. Others theorize they didn't specifically want him to lose to Muhammad Mokaev, who they are not on good terms with. They did not re-sign him despite him being undefeated in the organization and ranked number 6 in the flyweight division. In that case, Mokaev may not even be able to play a pickleball game with Pantoja because Dana might shut that shit down, but it might not be that personal. Umar Nurmagomedov was also pulled from that card, possibly because he's fighting Yadong in December. That was supposed to be the main event of the card, but then Nurmagomedov got pulled. Then this became the main event of the card. Then Raul Rosas Jr. got pulled. Now they got to get 2 new main event fighters for Friday. UFC will probably sign one of them and then pull them. Muhammad Mokaev will probably return to Brave in December. Raul Rosas Jr. turned 20 earlier this month, which seems strange. For some reason, I think he's going to be 17 years old forever, but he's coming off a victory over Ariki Lang last month via unanimous decision. UFC doing 4 shows in a row, 2 fight nights sandwiched in between 2 pay-per-views. UFC 308, Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria. UFC 309, John Jones versus Stipe. So 2 pay-per-views in the span of 3 weeks. You got the greatest fighter of all time fighting John Jones one final time. Enjoy it while it lasts. Guessing he wins and retires. How do you see it playing out? And who's your GOAT? Let me know in the comments. Cain Velasquez's sentencing delayed till next year for the attempted murder charges he pled no contest to. The sentencing, he guessed, may depend on how the judge feels about it. Maybe he empathizes with Cain and why he did what he did, or maybe he wants to try and set an example that vigilante justice won't be accepted. As far as the guy Cain tried to shoot at, Harry Goulart, who's accused of abusing Cain's 4-year-old son, his next court date is next month. His lawyer tried to throw out the entire case because during the preliminary hearing, the judge apparently was sleeping during parts of the testimony of Cain's 4-year-old son, which is pretty crazy, but they were unsuccessful in that attempt to have the case thrown out, and Goulart's next court date will be November 13th. A lot of decisions on the card over the weekend, so only 1 performance bonus was given out to Anthony Hernandez. The only other finish on the card was Jocelyn Edwards, but she missed weight, so she missed the opportunity to win a bonus. Michelle Pereira's wife seen on her phone during the 4th round of his fight with Anthony Hernandez. Pereira looked like he was gassed in the 1st round, so he ended up taking a beating in round 2, beating in round 3, beating in round 4, beating in round 5, until Herb Dean finally stepped in and called off the fight, and Hernandez got the 5th round TKO finish. Michelle Pereira once accused Masvidal for trying to flirt with his wife by sending her an Instagram DM with the prayer hands emoji, but Masvidal revealed that she messaged him first congratulating him on something, to which he replied with that emoji in gratitude for that remark. How crazy a world, and how far has society fallen that this idiot Michelle Pereira would use his wife to hopefully one day get a paycheck and create a fake narrative to try and get a fight with me, when clearly he sees she slid in my DM. Wishing you guys the best. Hashtag marriage counselor. Masvidal wants to return to the UFC Octagon in March in his hometown of Miami, Florida. There's no women's fight on the card on Saturday, which is rare. There's usually at least one, but none on the 308 card on Saturday. Volkanovski is picking Holloway in the main event. He thinks that he's going to outstrike and outwork Topuria from the outside. Volkanovski's opinion has validity because he's fought both these guys, and he spent 75 minutes in the cage with Max over the course of their 3 fights. So Volk's opinion matters, but for odds makers, their opinion is Topuria's the favorite in that one. In the co-main event, Khamzat Chimaev is over a 2-1 favorite over Robert Whittaker. Khamzat should dominate early with his aggressive style and strong wrestling. He's looking to get a fast finish with a submission or ground and pound, but maybe this aggressive style could lead him to fading later on in the fight. We saw glimpses of that in the Burns fight and the Usman fight. And keep in mind, this is a 5-rounder. That's new territory for Khamzat Chimaev, but old hat for Robert Whittaker. He's a vet when it comes to 5-rounders. If it does go the full 5 rounds, will the Abu Dhabi judges favor Khamzat? in that situation. Also, Khamzat Chimaev's health is always a concern. He's been badly sick the past few years, so that's always an issue. His mind is always willing, but his body is not. Hopefully this fight happens. You never really know with Khamzat until they actually step into that cage. Nasruddin Imavov pushing for a fight with Israel Adesanya. He would be the highest ranked guy for Adesanya to fight. After that, it's Bohayo. Imavov's coming off that win over Brendan Allen. And Bohayo's coming off that win over Jared Cannonier. Chris Curtis thinks it's sad and funny that I'm still 0 for 0 in takedown attempts. I know who I am. So his fight with Roman Kopylov on January 11th should be a good one. Should be a good striking battle. Chris Curtis likes to use his hands. Kopylov has a more diverse striking attack. Diane Silva is showing improved levels of consciousness this week. She ended up in a coma after attempting to make weight for a fight in Bellator last month. Her management says the PFL will cover her entire purse. Silva's undefeated at 3-0. Her scheduled opponent for last month is also undefeated at 4-0. This story was underreported, possibly because the PFL didn't want any information getting out there about it. One journalist talked about how everything has been eerily quiet. As I've been trying to track this story since it happened, it's been kept under wraps because PFL and employees have been explicitly told not to talk about it. Guess they think it's not good for business if that information gets out there, and this was leading up to their big event with Ngannou, but it's not about the organization. This could happen in any organization, PFL, Bellator, LFA, UFC. It's more about the nature of the beast itself. The beast being weight cutting. When you put your body through such extreme dehydration, it can lead to disastrous results. Unfortunately, Diane Silva experienced some of those disastrous results. Unprofessional bum is what one person said about her for missing weight before knowing the extent of her medical situation. But thankfully, she's getting better. But I assume that's the end of her career. I don't know if she's gonna wake up from a coma, be happy to be alive, and then want to weight cut again and then get her head bashed in. But you never know, she might. James Vick was put in a medically induced coma earlier this year after he got knocked out brutally in Karate Combat. And while Karate Combat no longer wants him to fight for them due to his safety, James Vick still wants to fight. He still wants to compete in MMA or kickboxing or boxing.
So free and so happy in where I am in my life right now. I feel so free. 4 years after retiring from my MMA career, now 8 years into real estate investing, 5 years into the stock market investing, and I'm going to a new journey now where I am a certified financial agent. I retired from fighting 3 years ago. I haven't fought for 4 years. I'm not going back to fighting ever again. I'm building a whole new life outside of fighting.